Now, if you've been watching any of our other videos, you'll probably realize that here at Overdivest Nurseries, we're very fond of plants with colored foliage. We find they provide tremendous value in the garden, right through multiple seasons, and particularly if they're hardy, native, easy to grow plants, like this very nice form of our native white snake root. This is Eupatorium chocolate, a selection that was introduced by the Mount Cuba Center in 1994. Dick Lighty, when he was the director there, was working on a purple leaf form that he got from Hal Bruce at Winterthur. Took him 10 years selecting and reselecting seedlings until he eventually found this dark leaf form, which was then introduced with the name chocolate. It's a plant that's hardy to zone 4, will grow preferably in a partially shaded site, although it will grow in shadier conditions. But there you'll find the foliage takes on more of a bronzish shade. And also it's a plant that will grow well in sunny locations too, providing you give it plenty of moisture retentive material at its roots and perhaps mulch it, and you might even have to water it a little bit during the drier periods of the year. But as long as it gets a little bit of sun in a partially shaded site, it'll grow well, it'll be protected from the hot afternoon sun, and you'll get this really beautiful dark colored foliage on it. Now, it gets to about 3 foot high by about 2 foot wide, and in the latter part of the summer, early part of the autumn, it produces little sprigs, flower sprigs at the tops of the shoots that when they open to fluffy white flowers. So all in all, it's a plant that will do well in a woodland garden, perhaps naturalized. It would certainly work well in a cottage garden, and you could plant it in beds and borders and foundation plantings, and perhaps even mix it in with other colored foliage plants too. That way you'll be able to contrast the different colors and forms. All in all, hardy, reliable, and easy to grow. Just one word of warning about it, and that is that be careful when you've got kids or pets anywhere near it, because the foliage is toxic, and apparently in the early times of pioneers, the settlers allowed their animals to graze on the ordinary green wild form of this, and it passed on a thing called milk sickness and the trembles in animals. So today there's really very few instances of any problems, and part of the thing is just knowing about it. So be careful with that, otherwise you'll find it very reliable and easy to grow, and a terrific plant with all of this dark purple foliage. This is Eupatorium chocolate.